I want to work on restoring this right here, this faded paint on top of the cowling. The process is going to be similar to that of gel coat, but it's going to be a little bit different because gel coat is different than paint. Gel coat is a thick layer that is very porous and sucks in stains and contaminants. Paint is a really thin layer that is also kind of porous, but not near as thick as gel coat. So for this right here, let's take this inside and start working on it. Because paint is so much thinner than gel coat, you don't want to use stuff like this. This is gel coat, compound and polish, and then also you don't want to use stuff like this, the heavy duty supercut that we use from Presta, because this stuff is very gritty. It will eat through the clear coat and then into the paint. It will leave scratches. This is not for paint, so you don't want to use stuff like this. Before we get started, we do need to clean this. I'm going to go ahead and use something like this. This is just a Brilliant Garage car wash. We're just going to use that, and then I am not an expert in this, but what I've gathered is that clay cleaner is the best thing to clean paint before you try and compound and polish it. So let's clean it with the soap, and then we will clean it with the clay. All I did was get me a little bottle from Walmart, a little squirt bottle. I'm going to pour some of my soap into the container, and then I'll just add a little bit of water to water it down, and that will be what we're going to use to clean it. You can get these from Walmart or from the dollar store. Boom. Now that we've got it nice and wiped down, we can go ahead and open up our clay kit, and we're going to clean this with the clay kit here. This is just the Meguiar stuff. In here, it looks like we got a couple microfiber towels. We've got our quick detail mist and wipe, which is the stuff that you need for the clay. And then we have our clay bars. So we're just going to be using one clay bar. I'm actually going to cut it like, you know, just a quarter of it. We don't need to use the whole bar, because as soon as you get this thing dirty, it is unusable. You'll make scratches in the paint. Like if you drop this on the ground and get a bunch of rocks and stuff in there, you will be scratching your cowling if you continue to use it with being dirty. So I'm going to open this up and cut a corner of it off. So boom, I got a nice little section like that. Stick that on the cowling there, and the rest of this I'm going to wrap it back up in the cellophane here, cover it up, and then that way this I will put back into our box to keep it safe and clean. And this is pretty simple. We're just going to knead this little compound bar into basically like a little disc, and then we're going to wipe it on here. We just need to take our stuff, put this on a mist our surface here, and then take our compound bar and clean it all up. As you can see, it's getting dirty as we clean it. This is actually looking way better already, and that's just with the clay. Now this back here, you can tell this is way faded as well, so hopefully we can do something with that. This rubber, we'll need to do something with that, but other than that, this looks really good. Here's how nasty the bar got. So this is basically trash now. I'm going to throw this away because it's way too dirty to be able to use again. But now that I have everything clean, we need to move on to trying to clean it up. Now, I got two different things that I want to try. I want to try this Meguiar's Ultimate Compound Color and Clarity Restorer. That's very important. I want to try that. And then also I bought some of this Turtle Wax Polishing Compound Clean Finish Technology, mainly because this is only like $6-7. This is like $13-14. So I want to try both of them in order to see what they really do. I have tons of cleaning supplies all around this place, but also, you know, I might even try at the end of it putting on some of this new finish. We can talk about that. I mean, this stuff's pretty good stuff, But let's go ahead and polish this up. In order to polish this, I'm going to be using a machine. I'm not going to do this by hand. When it comes to the polisher, we have multiple different options. You do not have to go out and spend a ton of money. Obviously, a real polisher is going to do the best, and a bigger pad is going to make you be able to do the job a lot quicker, but you don't always need these 7, 8, 9-inch pads in order to do the job, and you also don't need a $200 polisher. I use this polisher quite a bit. This is the snap-on one, but you don't necessarily need this. If you want, you can actually go ahead and just get a drill. These are not as effective, but you can get this kit right here with all these little foam pads, and then it also comes with this thing right here that will actually go onto your drill. You can put this on the drill and you can polish all you want using your drill, and you don't need an expensive polisher like this. Small polishers like this are really nice for doing cowling stuff like this, where you don't need, you know, a 9-inch pad to get all over here. But this kit right here, I'll link it in the description. And let me go ahead, switch out my pads, and we will try the Meguiar's compound first. I'm just going to use the foam pad. You put some dots on there, and then you're going to want to take it and just dab it on here like this. Then you want to start slow. Just kind of work that in there. And work a little section at a time. Once you get it worked in there, then you can speed up your polisher and actually give it the juice. Wow, look at all of that. That is a lot of paint and stuff. It looks like it is taken off of there. So this is actually quite abrasive, to be honest with you. I was not expecting that. And that already looks 100 times better. I mean, it has a really good gray color to it. And this is the Meguiar's Ultimate Compound Color and Clarity Restore. I'm actually very, very surprised in this. Also, look at the, look at that. It's got all that paint, clear coat. I don't know what that is. Maybe my sponge, maybe my pad, foam pad was a little bit abrasive. But this looks really, really good. You can see the difference there. So now what I want to do is let's see what the Cheapy Cheap does. This is the Turtle Wax Rubbing Compound Clean Finish technology. We're going to try this, and we will see what this does in this little section here. And then after that, we'll just go ahead and knock out the rest of this cowling, and then we will put the polish on there to see if it actually gets rid of all this discoloration, which we'll see what it does back here. Up here looks really, really good, but yeah, let's see what this stuff does next. Well, I will say this stuff does stay wet for a lot longer than the other stuff, the Meguiar's, but this is more of a compound and this is more of a polish. So obviously the two differences, you can clearly tell where the color restoration compound was and the polish was. There's a visible line between the two. So I'm going to go ahead and hit this right here again, and I'm going to hit it with the Color and Clarity Restore, the compound, and we will see what it does over here in this section. Like this right here, those chips, I'm not going to be able to get rid of those, like these paint chips. That's clearly not going to come out. But actually, let me take the polish and let me polish this after the fact that I've done the compound, and let me see what this looks like with just this polish. That definitely did some smoothing out, that's for sure. I mean, it does have a little bit more of a deeper color, more of a lustrous shine to it. And this doesn't even have any kind of like real polish or wax on it. But let me go ahead and I'm going to compound this whole thing with the Meguiar's Ultimate Compound. And as soon as I get done doing the whole cowling with that, we'll take a look at it before we might even do a pass with this after the compound, and then we'll put a polish on there to really make this thing shine. Wow, that really changed that up. I mean, it looks like I could really work some of these spots. Like you can see, like that's a spot there, that's a spot there. I don't know if I'll be able to cut through that with the compound without like making it worse. You know, I don't know exactly, because this is like actually eating through the paint. There's like no paint there, so I'm gonna try and work this a little bit more to see if it'll bring it in like this. But like a lot of that blotchiness, it took that right out. I mean, this is all one color now. So this right here, I'm not gonna be able to get rid of that. That spots in the paints, you cannot restore that without repainting, but you know, that's gonna be what it's gonna be. But the rest of this, let me work it a little bit more and we'll see what this thing looks like. This is starting to polish up really, really nice. Excuse me, I'm sorry, but did you get a new cowling? Nope, sure didn't, and this isn't even polished yet. So if you're looking at this the way I'm seeing it, this has been a massive success. So let me hit it with the polish and we'll see what it looks like. In all honesty, this actually looks amazing. So the top, I mean, you can still see a lot of fading. I mean, it's just what it's going to be. This is a 20-year-old cowling from faded paint, but like that, you're not going to be able to get rid of that. And some of this other stuff, you're not going to be able to get rid of. But for the most part, look at how pretty this cowling looks. And this doesn't even have any polish on it yet. This is simply just, I mean, well, that's the polishing compound, but it doesn't have like any kind of wax, like a real wax. I think I'm just going to use some of this because I have it. I mean, I could put some Colonite on there, of course, but you know, this is good stuff too. So let me put this stuff on. One thing about this though, you do not want to get it onto this rubber. So any of your gaskets, any of that stuff, you do not want to get this kind of product on there. So don't get this on there. I'm going to put this on a rag, and for this, it's really simple. You put it on a rag, you wipe it on. You can put it on whatever. You can put it on you know, some of these things right here. You could put it on these to put them on. You could put it on a microfiber rag. I mean, it doesn't really matter. You just put it on there. We'll wipe it on. You'll wait like 30 seconds to a minute, depending on where you're at. It will start to get hazy, and once it gets hazy, then we'll wipe it off. But I'll explain that while I do it and make it easier. Now that I've got the new finish on there, I'm just going to let it dry a little bit. You can kind of see it gets this little hazy color to it. And you can see all the streaks and stuff in it. And once you can kind of make it all out and you can see that it's drying, I'm just going to take the same rag. I'm going to flip it inside out. Boom. Take it on a clean spot. And we'll come back and just wipe this off. And you will have a beautiful shine. Look at that. That looks outstanding. I can put this thing back in there. Bing. Put that thing off. Boom. Look at how pretty that looks. I'm just gonna polish out the rest of this cowling. We'll put it back on the boat or on the engine and see what it looks like. But if you don't call that a success, then I don't know what is. Even this back here, yes, you can see it still has the paint problems, but as far as the rest of it goes, the top here, look at that bad boy. Just looking beautiful all the way around. Yeah, that was massive success, and that is how you restore faded paint on an outboard engine or on a cowling.